You may have seen these pictures floating around on social media of a $2 million Porsche 918 Spyder at Atlanta's airport with Delta's logo on the side. Even if you know nothing about cars, you may be wondering, why on earth does Delta have a $2 million supercar at Atlanta's airport? Many journalists have beat me to it for the simple answer, which is just to chauffeur some very lucky customers to their gates, but I want to know the deeper reason why. Because while a Porsche 918 Spyder is definitely fast enough to get you to your gate if you're running late, it only has enough room for you and like one of those midget purses, and definitely not enough room for this whale. Add on the fact that it is so horribly expensive to purchase, but then also just to maintain, that you're just stuck wondering why Delta even has the car in the first place. The answer, obviously, is more complex than you might have originally thought. Hello people of the internet, I'm Nico, a guy who is very disappointed that Delta never chauffeured me around in my $2 million dream car, so needless to say, I'm very curious as to what is going on. Starting with the basics, what do Delta and Porsche even get for working together? I mean, one is a German car company owned by Volkswagen, and the other is an American airline that is not known for dragging their customers off of the plane. Well, for starters, both companies have headquarters in Atlanta, which would explain why the car was only at Atlanta's airport, and obviously with the headquarters so close to one another, it would make it very easy to negotiate business deals. But that still doesn't answer why a 918 Spyder. To be able to answer that question, I first need to explain how airlines work, and it's not exactly how you might think. First and firstmost, airlines don't make their money from flying anymore.
Wait, what?
I know that seems counterintuitive. It would be like a coffee shop not making money from selling coffee, but instead for charging for the Wi-Fi. But that is kind of how airlines work nowadays. No, charging is not their main source of revenue, but instead it is loyalty programs. The whole business structure of airlines is too complicated to explain in this short video, but airlines lose money for every seat per mile flown, and so airlines rely heavily on their frequent flyer programs to make money. In fact, as a little mind-blowing stat for you guys, the frequent flyer programs of Delta, American Airlines, and United are more valuable than the airline companies that own them. And so, it would make sense for these airlines to be heavily focused on making these frequent flyer programs an experience worth paying for, and that is where Porsche comes in. As a luxury car brand with a sporty ethos, Porsche is in the perfect position to be partnered with Delta, and has been for many years. Now, it's worth noting that I don't know the exact details of their business partnership, but considering that Delta only keeps the cars for a year before replacing them, I would guess that Delta simply leases the cars from Porsche. What I am certain about is, though, that you have to be very lucky to be picked up in one. For starters, you need to have Diamond Medallion status in Delta's SkyMiles program, which means spending enough money that you could have just bought a second-hand Porsche, but I guess you don't get the luxury of being chauffeured around at an airport, so there's that as well. From then on, it all depends on the circumstances. The Delta employees who drive the Porsches around at the airport, they are given a list of all the Diamond Medallion status members who are flying that day, and it's the driver's job to get through as many customers as possible who have very tight connections. So even if you have the Diamond Medallion status and you have a very tight connection, you probably still need Jesus to take the wheel. So why a $2 million Porsche 918 Spyder alongside all the run-of-the-mill Porsche Macans and Panameras? Well, chances are this is just a publicity stunt. For one thing, this whole charade got a lot of media coverage, myself contributing to that obviously, so this was always going to get a lot of eyeballs on Delta. Secondly, since frequent flyer programs are so crucial to airlines making money, it makes sense to make this quick splurge to bring some awareness to the program, and then entice those who fly regularly to consider going Delta exclusively. And finally, it was just easy. Porsche of North America is headquartered in Atlanta, and there's a Porsche Experience Center some 5 miles from the airport, which is home to a suspiciously blue Porsche 918 Spyder. And considering the 12-year-long business that Delta and Porsche have been enjoying together, borrowing an eye-catching car for a month to give both parties some publicity honestly seems pretty straightforward. Sadly, the Porsche 918 isn't staying forever. By the time this video has gone live, Porsche will have taken back their prized possession, and you will only be allowed to ride around in a measly $150,000 Porsche instead of a $2 million Porsche. I guess you have to take what you can get and say thank you. And speaking of thank yous, I want to quickly say thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, then be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're interested in seeing more videos like this. It's free and you can always change your mind later. If you want to know about some more business dealings that Porsche has done, maybe specifically of making some carbon neutral gasoline, then I recommend this video right here. Until next time, people of the internet, peace out.